What it do? What it do? What it do? What it do? Yeah, it's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that Oral D Pod. For those that don't know who I am him, Junes, the MBIC. And you know, I represent that Oral D. Want to give a shout out to the YouTube family, to the creators, to the ancestors, and to all the El Kebula and kidnaps all over the world. You know, I do this for y'all. You heard? Um, I wanted to touch on this whole P. Diddy situation. A lot has been, going on. We got the trial that's at hand, or probably started already. Last I checked, they're looking for the jurors or whatnot. It's a lot going on, but my big issue that I'm having right now is these so-called gangster rappers that's been giving us gangster music, trap, drug dealing, gun bucking, being around real niggas, etc., etc. I'm from the block where if you come out here with this may happen to you, etc., 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 etc. Right? We're talking about these individuals that now that this man is behind bars, supposedly everybody has something to say. People are speaking up. People are now, throwing him under the bus or saying he did this to me, he made me do this. And then it's like, don't do that. To me personally, that's called sucker sugar honey iced tea. Why is it that? Because first of all, let's make this clear. Diddy is not all that gangster. Yes, he has the money to remove you or whatnot. But him per se, no. Diddy is the primary example of when you respect people because of money and not who they are. This is the example of that. When you respect people for the money that they have and not who they are. What I mean by who they are is like somebody's that's known to get busy, held themselves down, not afraid of death, not afraid of individuals, jump into the fire, jump into the water. No matter what the circumstances is, they are always lit. They're the same energy all the time, right? That's somebody that you respect compared to somebody having that characteristics, but that characteristics was built up because of the money that he has and the hands that he shaked. You understand? It's a big difference. And there's a lot of this that's going on within the black community where men is now, dick riding. You know what I'm saying? Pause. There's more male groupies now than ever before. You understand? More male groupies now than ever before, where dudes is only in the mix or only want to be a part of the crowd because of who the person is and the financial support or assets that this person has. Right? So I seen a post, I seen it on Instagram and I seen it on YouTube where now Meek Mills is coming out and he's saying that you know, Diddy forced me. Now everything is being forced. Now this is allegedly, guys. Let me put the allegedly out because I'm hearing Meek Mills is out here sending lawsuits. You know what I'm saying? Allegedly, right? That he was forced. Then you got the older dudes, like something I forgot this dude Williams. You know what I'm saying? Where what's that lady name? Jaguar Wright, stated that an old employee working at Bad Boys came to her and said to her that she caught this nigga on his knees, giving him head, or Carl Winslow getting his back broke by this man, and this man just out here just violating the entire black race, doing what he want, and nobody checked him, and y'all wait for the nigga to get locked. Now everybody got something to say. For me personally, I'm more disappointed it's in these gangster rappers because you gangster rappers talk all this gangster shit. And when it's time to be a gangster and stand on business, you know where to be seen. Cassie, I understand. All the females that's bringing forth lawsuits, I understand. I understand. But for you black men that's running around here making millions of dollars, feeding us this hypocrisy called gangster rap because you niggas don't live up to what you guys be rapping. And it shows. It shows. It shows all through the way that you walk, all through the way that you talk, all of it. When you look at today's hip hop, and this is no disrespect to the average person, but when you look at today's hip hop, guys, everybody, and I repeat, everybody is displaying some level of femininity. Some level of femininity. You guys was watching the Super Bowl the other day, and you guys was watching the halftime show where Kendrick Lamar literally made that entire Super Bowl halftime show about dissing Drake, right? And yes, it was wonderful. You get to see Serena C walk in. You got a chance to see hip hop on the main stage again, right? But what you guys fail to realize is the feminine homosexual agenda that was being displayed right in front of you. Right? People's gonna say, "What you mean by that?" When you look at the video in the beginning, the man is wearing bell bottoms, and he's wearing bell bottoms with the butt paddings, right? So it literally looks like how the girls used to look in the 70s, right? They used to have bell bottoms for men and they had bell bottoms for women. That boy had on bell bottoms for women, okay? And in the beginning, you see him strucking his walk with two females behind him, strucking his walk. That's not how a man walks. But I understand. You know why? Because somebody like Diddy to be in the game for this long, I'm sure he done corrupted the minds of everybody in the hip hop industry. Everybody is into the Batiman stuff. All right. Including Jay-Z. And I'm from Brooklyn and I'm gonna say that. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna say that. But the problem that I have is when you guys are all of a sudden having the courage. You guys grew a pair of nuts because now the man is behind bars. But when the man was alive and he was fully active and he was doing these things, whether he was doing it to other people or he was doing it to you, you ain't say nothing. You ain't done nothing. You understand? And I don't care what the situation is. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from here in New York, we knew about P. Diddy. We knew about the parties. We knew this since Biggie was alive. We knew what goes on with Diddy. You remember Little Kim having to be sent to the hospital to get her stomach pumped because she had gallons of semen in her? What the heck you think was going on? That was her initiation. And after that, she blew up. She became the queen bee. Come on, man. And then the album came out with her, with the song came out with her and Mary J. Blige. I can love you better than she can. Come on, man. All of these things was in front of you. See, we knew these things, but you guys was just wasn't paying attention. But now that we have social media, and now that we have everybody being journalists, everybody is speaking on something. Now you guys are being, previous to it. But we've been doing about this. That's why New York. Why you think 50 didn't sign with Bad Boys? That's why New Yorkers never signed to Bad Boys. It goes deeper than the 360 deals that they did with Jada Kiss and all that. It goes deeper than that. Okay? Ask French Montana. It goes deeper than that. This is why people never dealt with Bad Boys. That's why when you see Bad Boys talent, if they're not from Harlem, they're from Atlanta, they're from other areas. You see how he was branching off because he realized, like, damn, New York really not messing with me? Like, yeah, now we good because we knew what he was about. We knew about the homosexualities and all of that, right? I'm just finding out that he had his hands in Biggie, even though when we was in New York at that time, we was like, nah, that nigga, it seems like he got something to do with it. We can tell, bro. It's a feel. Remember, we are spiritual people. So when something is not right or something is done in the dark, you're gonna feel something that's gonna trigger in your body that's gonna always leave a question mark every time you see that person. Facts. You understand? And on top of that, let's not forget he's from Harlem. No disrespect to my Harlem niggas, but you guys are known for double crossing. You guys are known for telling. You guys are known for attending funerals after killing somebody. You guys are known for that. So, yeah, we good. You feel me? We good. But back to these gangster rappers. All this gangster talk, and you wasn't gangster enough to stand to P. Diddy? I seen P. Diddy talk crazy to somebody like a Mano. And Mano's supposed to be, an official tissue here in Brooklyn. I watched that man get talk like a little child. And I'm looking around like, this is take that, take that, take that. A man that never even did time in prison talking crazy to a man that did 7 years. You spent 7 years around killers and you're being violated and disrespected for a man that spent 20 years around queerdos. Yeah, not weirdos, queerdos. Come on, man. And from that moment when I seen that, I was asking these questions and I started saying, yo, what's really going on behind the scenes? And then word got back and et cetera, et cetera. And then, like I said, stuff started really making sense. I said, oh, okay. This is what's going on. This is why this is this. This is why people acting like this. This is why we're moving like that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? It's because you guys have allowed money. You guys have allowed money to rule your lives. Money has override principles, morals, dignity, etc. And you know who's printing out all that money? You know who's printing out all that money? Them. You know why money? You know why money was created? To control the slaves. We talking about money. We talking about the actual paper, not the gold. We talking about money, the actual paper. The purpose for its creation was to do what? Was to control the masses. See, money is not backed by gold. Money is not backed by a trust fund. Money is not backed by absolutely nothing but confidence. That's what backs money, is confidence. You have confidence knowing that if you do this work, you're going to get paid for it. And you know that when you get paid, what you got paid for, you have confidence that you can take this piece of paper, walk inside of a store, make a purchase, and walk out in one piece. That's confidence. And yes, I'm sorry. No, I'm not showing my face today. It's Monday. I'm mad that it's Monday. I gotta go to the plantation. I gotta cut my hair. I'm just being lazy right now. I just wanted to come on this live and just talk my shit and continue keeping and exposing people for their foolishness, right? I will be doing a live, not a live, a podcast with about Rodney Jr. You know, the brother that killed the police officer after the police officer killed his son. Yeah. We're going to do a podcast about that. And I also want to do a podcast about the money, about how money is the root of all evil. Whether you love it, you need it, it's the root of all evil, because the people that introduced money to you and gave it to you and said that this is the way you need to live to survive are evil people. And the fruit can't fall too far from the tree. That's it. So when you see what's going on in the world, when you see bombs and this and that and nuclear this and blah, 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 when you see they selling weapons and warfare, what's the transaction? Money. It's not being sold by gold. It's money. Money is what you use to control the masses, people. And this is what we're seeing right now in 2025. Money is the reason why everything is what you see. And I'm not going to dive too deep into it. I'm just going to leave it as that. But again, people must understand that if you put money before everything, you will forever lose. Everything that you created, you worked on, it will disappear because you put money over the natural orders of humanity. See, you can't money can never exceed or override the universal laws. See, P. Diddy was breaking the universal laws. P. Diddy was touching children. That's a universal law. You're not supposed to do that. P. Diddy was, indulged allegedly into homosexual activities, right? That's going against the universe. You're not going to win at the end. You understand? And it's time for us to realize that the things that we're doing, right? If it goes against the universal order, you're going to be removed, bro. You're going to see things happen to you in your life that you will say, damn, I should have never did that. Or why is these things happening to me? What did I do to deserve such and such and such and such? It's the universal law. When you go against the universal law, shit like this happens. Okay? And this is what you guys are seeing. But for me, I'm just more disappointed in these so-called gangster rappers, these black men that's afraid to speak up. Okay, and I get it, and I know, the NDAs, and it's a secret society, and yes, there's a possibility you can be prodigied. Yes, I said prodigy. That's what they did. They put an egg in this man's mouth, pause, and that's how he died. The man choked on an egg. Never heard that before, but that's how he went out. And I get it. And I get it. But at some point, somebody got to stand on business, though. At some point, somebody has to stand on business. At some point, somebody got to stand on business. And what are we standing on? What are we really standing on? What are we standing on? Money is not what makes the business strive. It's the people that makes the business strive. So whether money is in the mix or not, as long as people there, the business will forever be functioning. But when you make money come before the people, or the people need to convert and conform to whatever the money says, this is when stuff goes downhill. Hence, basketball. I know, trash. But this is what's going on. The world ain't the same like it used to be. People like P. Diddy is just the beginning of many. And to the people that says, why is always the black man that's taking the black man down? We always attacking each other. Where was you when he was attacking little black children? Where was you when he was attacking children in general, whether they black, white, Chinese, Mexican? Where was you? Where was that energy about that? So you want me to suppress that and stand up for him because he's just black? No, we're not doing that. And that's the main issues that we have right here in the black community. That because he's black, or because he's a relative, and because we love him and we don't want him to go to jail and we don't want him to be prosecuted, we keep, dark secrets to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And until you wake up one day and see a high rise of homosexuality within the black community, you're like, yeah, wait, hold on, where did this come from? And then you speak to this little boy, you say, yo, little homie, what happened? When did you find out you was a Bati boy? I think I was 10, 11 years old. When a child tells you he was 10 or 11 years old, when he knew, that means somebody was touching him at 8 or 7, man. Okay? There's a lot of touching going on within the black and brown households, especially the girls. And now these men, ever since Barack Obama gave the green light for these niggas to be in your church, be outside, these niggas is closer to your child, better, worse than, I say worse than before. They're closer to your child more than ever than before. They're close to your child now. They're teaching them. They're teaching them. They're guiding their mind. Remember what I tell you, he that controls the mind controls the spine. So if I'm a Bati boy and I tell you the Batiism is cool, calm, collective, you calling on the Lexus, you got no choice to respect it. If I tell you that, eventually when that child gets a certain age, he's going to believe that this is the truth. And this is what you're seeing. And this all was intentional. These people now are in your space. These single women dating these men, finding these men. You like, hey, how you doing? And these men will be in a whole situation, had a whole wife and all that. Leave that, come deal with you. Not saying nothing because, women don't, not thinking too far ahead, not saying nothing. It's more like, look, man, you mine, I'm yours, we together, we gonna make it work. Meanwhile, you're not even knowing that you are communicating and investing your time, your soul, your energy to a monster. And you won't know he's a monster until it's too late. Until you come home one day and and your son is flapping his wrists and he's twitching his back, or the daughter's saying he did this and he did that, and it's already too late. The damage is already done. So when you tell me that I should not speak on stuff like this, you crazy. It just so happens that it's P. Diddy and he's the so-called successful man. I'm sorry that it had to be you that gotta, you gotta take the bullet to the head. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. Let's not just stop here. Let's just not start with Diddy. Diddy's next, Jay-Z next, Beyonce next, and then we gonna take the high profiles out, right? Then we gonna go into the inner cities. Let's take out the dirty uncle. Let's take out the abusive auntie. These people are amongst us. They ain't never go nowhere. But we're so programmed to suppress that and act like this stuff is normal. It's not normal until that spirit comes into your front door and touches your child. And then when it touches your child, then what? Then what you're gonna say? Who you gonna blame? You're gonna say, God, why? No, it's us. Every problem that we're dealing with within the black and brown community has to deal with us. We are the problem. We are the solution. Everything. There's nothing else, nothing more. Stop looking for help for the Europeans. Stop marching, stop doing none of that. Just clip it, kill it. Let that joint die. We don't need to do that no more. Okay? We are at a space now where we need communication amongst each other. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to look each other in the eyes, right? When you talk to me, look me in my face, right? When you look away, you telling me that you're mischievous. You're telling me that what you're saying is not true. You're telling me what you're saying can be broken. This contract, this agreement that we're having can be breached when you don't look at me in the face. I'm just saying that. And we got to start doing that again. We got to start holding ourselves accountable. We got to start exposing. Let's take it from the top and make our way down. That's how I was raised. Okay? You don't go take from the bottom and then worry about the top, right? It doesn't work that way. Only if it was a building and it was a demolition and it was just gonna fall. But it doesn't work that way. It doesn't. Okay, and even in demolition, it starts from the top and go boom, 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 and make his way down. Right? So that's the same thing that we need to do when it's pertaining to rappers and musicians and all these people that has a major influence on the El Kebule kidnaps. And I will always talk about that. I will always expose that. If I even hear that you are a pedophile and you touch children or you molested, you did something, I will put your image, your location, where you was born. I'll put all that on the internet because everybody needs to know who you are, especially our women. Our women have forgotten. This is why the ancestors and the creators did what they did. Women was not supposed to be going from Tom, Dick, and Harry. Why? When you go to Tom, Dick, and Harry, especially when you have a child. Once you have a child, whoever you had that child with, you just got to stick with that. Whether you like it or not, that's what you got to deal with. Because when you remove yourself from that scenery, if I'm lying, I'm flying. When you remove yourself from that scenery, the universe is always going to work against you because you're breaking the natural order. Okay? The natural order is being broken. We have to restore order. And one of the restoring has to start with the takedown of individuals like this. Okay? Take down the individuals like Diddy. Take down the individuals like Jay-Z. Take down the individuals like Drake. Take down the individuals like Yeezy. Yes, yes, I have the video. Matter of fact, let me see if I could pull this up. Let me see if I could pull this up because you know I have the video. I have the video of your favorite rapper Drake with sausages in his mouth and mayonnaise all on his face. I have that. Me. My whole TikTok was taken down when I put that up. See that's what lets me know that Drake is a part of he is the system. Like the system invested millions of dollars into this man to demoralize young black men and women, okay? To attack and remove black women from their natural state, telling our black sisters that it's okay to be ratchet, be a hoe, be a chicken. I just seen a video with Sexy Red saying "F my baby daddy, F my baby dad." Like, this is the music. Oh, this is the music, bro. This is the music. You will never find a Chinese, a Arab, a Jewish ever coming on this stage, ever coming on national TV, social media, wherever, saying the shit like this. But we as black people see nothing wrong. You know why? Because we've been immune to this. If you're not talking like this, you're not black. Oh, yeah, F my baby daddy. My baby daddy ain't sugar honey iced tea. Was he sugar honey iced tea when you opened your legs? That's why I get so disgusted with women with the whole child support and all of this. Like, yo, bro, you hate that man that much? Like, was you high? Was you on drugs when you had your legs open and you allow him to ejaculate in you? Making a baby is a process, right? It's really a process. Whether it's 5, 10, 20 minutes, it's a process. It's a process. And not only is it a process, after the process is done, depending on how good it was, both of y'all niggas gonna have to sit down and relax and catch a breather and say, "Sheesh, baby girl, that sex was crazy. Damn, baby, that dick was crazy," etc. Y'all gotta sit down and recoup. So you telling me through all that time you had it in your mind to destroy that man's life? That means you thought that man was a scumbag then? Or or after you started showing and then you started seeing the nigga in him, now all of a sudden it's too late, baby girl. You need to choose wisely. Choose wisely. Stop listening to Drake, the Bati boy. Okay? Stop blaming it on the liquor, the Bati boy. Stop blaming it on anything. It's time for us, like I said, the people to hold ourselves accountable and start making the corrections. And if you made a mistake, that is fine. We all make mistakes. But every time you get to open your eyes, it's another day to get right. Get right. You made your mistakes. You have children. Teach the children the right. Don't tell your daughter it's okay to be a ratchet. Don't tell your daughter, like, hey, you deal with a man, but if you're not happy, get up out of there. Tell your daughter, okay, this is what you have to tell your daughter. You can go and, what they call, what's that word? What's that word? Ah, damn. What's that word that they use when you trying to get to know somebody? Not dating. I forgot what it's called. Courting. Courting. There you go. So when you courting a person, this is what courting is, right? You get to know the person. There's no sexual things going on. Okay? Nothing. Just get to know him and know him for a long period of time. And if you like what you like, you move forward. But as a mother, you need to tell your daughter, listen, baby, talk to whoever, get to know the person, but understand that if you open your legs and you allow this man to go inside of you, you are forever attached to this man, whether you like it or not. You can run 50 trillion miles away. You will forever be attached to that man. Forever. And this is what we need to start telling our people because we are being told this Euro-Christian nonsense. Okay? When you read the Alice Bailey 10-point plan, she said it out her mouth that we must make sex from being sacred to just being an everyday thing. Key word, sacred to being an everyday thing. That was intentional. So sexualizing black men and black women, that's intentional. And these are coming from the same people that gave you Jesus, Islam, Judaism, etc., etc. It's these people. Okay? I can go on and on. Okay? See, you have to see the world, you must first see it from your eyesight. Okay? And then you must also see it from the people that stole the world and caused all the fuckery that you see around you. Okay? And the people that they invest money into, like Diddy, like Jay-Z. Don't you notice that it's only two of these niggas? Well, it's three. Him, him, Dre, and and Jay-Z. These are the three big entros. When I say entros, I'm talking about people that's sitting over 100 million, 300 million, 500 million. Oh yeah, and Kanye West. These are the head entros. But the two main bosses of this hip hop stuff is Diddy and Jay-Z. And Jay-Z is number two to Diddy. Did Jay-Z know that? Jay-Z will tell you that. But word on the street is Jay-Z is trying to get Diddy out the way so he can be the top dog. Allegedly. He want to be the top dog. He want to be the event planner. He want to be the one throwing the wild parties. I guess it's going to be more sophisticated now. It's going to be more classy, but it's still going to be sassy and nasty and trashy. Still, no matter what. Listen, you can't you could put makeup on an ugly person, but eventually that water gonna fall on it. You gonna see the person for who they really are. So it's only a matter of time. And like I said, when you do things that goes against the universe will expose it. It's just now people develop confidence to speak up. But I don't want these gangster rappers speaking up. Don't come out with all these chains, got the vest on, riding around, bulletproof. I'm a gangster and I do this, throwing up gang signs, and then the nigga get locked all of a sudden. Now, all of a sudden, you want to throw these niggas under the bus. Now you ready to expose the person for what they done and what they've been doing. Like, yo, stop. Why was you doing it when they was out? When they could have made you a phone call and said, yo, what's this about? And you been manning up that gangster that you say you are and say, nigga, I don't like what you doing. Nigga, you violating and I'm gonna expose you. And the nigga say, you know what I could do to you? And you tell him, nigga, bring it on. Nigga, you ain't gangster like me. Nigga, matter of fact, I'm gonna come see you right now. No, nobody did that. Nobody did that. But you come on this radio, you come on Hot 97, you come on social media, you go on all these platforms, showing your guns, showing all the shooters, showing all your jewelry, showing all the money, right? You know, it takes money to war, right? You got all this money, you got all this jewelry, you got all these guns, you got everything in your disposal, right? But when it comes to stepping up to the people that's really doing the foolishness, you know where to be seen. But you want to pick on bare mortals. You want to pick on the bottom feeders. You want to pick on the niggas like myself, people that just grinding, providing, surviving, but don't have the luxury like you. So you want to talk crazy, talk down, and you this big tough guy, the big bad wolf. I done seen this man make people like Whack 100 be quiet. Whack 100 not even talking. And this man talk crazy. He not even talking. Why? Why? Because they know. They know. And a lot of these people aren't talking because they got the tapes. Them NDAs and them hidden rooms and them secret conversations. They got all that. Right? They got all them receipts, right? And you got the last thing these gangster rappers want to be exposed for the world to see is them in a dark room getting their back broke. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? And with that being said, people, I'm gonna leave it as that, man. Don't come over here with all that gangster stuff. If you a gangster in real life, you should be a gangster all day, every day. Don't wait for a person to get locked up for you to have the courage to say something. We don't want to hear it now. You should have said it then. It would have been more realer, appreciated, and we would have stood by you, supported you then than you is now. And then for those that got their back broke, first and foremost, once you bent over, your manhood is done. That means you can't talk to another man. You need to be in a room full of women and speak to the women and allow the women to come talk to us. You can't talk to us no more because you done got violated. Are you dumb or are you dumb? But with that being said, people, again, it's your brother man from the motherland. I came to you guys live. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm going to put this up. Excuse me, I'm gonna put this up on the Spotify so you can watch it. You can listen to it in its full totality while you driving, or you could just watch this back on YouTube. However you want to do it, it's all up to you. Just know that I come to you to bring you the facts, not the truth. You know why? Because there's no truth on this earth. Okay? And for those that don't know who I am him, Tunes the MBIC, aka Mr. Keep My Foot on all religious, all heathens, all Hebrews, all heathenites, and all the other nights next until the day we die. You heard? So, I'm a holla. One.